Good morning, Super Scholars. Today is Monday, December 7th, 2020. Before we get started with the lesson, make sure that you do the ELA formative today. It is assigned to you on Google Classroom. First, you will listen to the story by clicking on video. And then you can answer the questions on your formative on Google Classroom. You can't answer the questions without listening to the story first. Once you have done that, then you can come back and watch the rest of the video for the lesson. So today, our learning intention is I am learning to make connections between two individuals in a text. I am successful when I can compare and contrast two individuals in a text. And what that is saying is you are telling how two people within one text is the same or how they are different. Some vocabulary that will help us out today is president, someone elected to lead a group of people. An example being the President of the United States. So we have President Donald Trump and President-elect Joe Biden. They were elected to lead a group of people, the United States. Compare and contrast. Comparing means you tell how someone or something is alike, and contrasting is just the opposite. So you tell them or you tell how something or someone is different. Connecting means to join or link. And some examples are to connect two wires, kind of like in the game Among Us when you connect with the wires, or a hallway connecting two rooms. And here's just a little example. When you do connecting the dots, you are drawing lines to connect them. And what we're doing is we're connecting two people in a text. Okay. So just to have a little bit more practice with compare and contrast, you will watch this brain pop video talking about how you compare something or someone. And then if you are feeling really good about comparing and contrasting, you can watch this short snippet from Monsters University and try to compare and contrast Mike and Sully. So how are they the same and how are they different? All right. As we read today, we are making connections between two people. That's our learning target. Making a connection means we are thinking about how two things or people relate to each other. One way we can do this is to think about how they are the same and how they are different. So today we are going to read about two presidents, and we are going to pick out information that tells us how they are the same and information that tells us how they are different. We're going to read the nonfiction passage, Two Great Presidents. As we read, we are listening for what we learn about George Washington, what we learn about Abraham Lincoln, and if any of those things are in common, they are the same. To help you out, this first paragraph tells us all information that is true for George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. So this is things that they have in common that we can compare. The second paragraph tells us things that are different, so ways we can contrast. America has had great presidents. Two great presidents were George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. George Washington and Abraham Lincoln helped America. They had courage. They were both born in February. Both presidents are on money. They are also on Mount Rushmore. Both presidents served 2 terms. And both men played important roles in wars. George Washington and Abraham Lincoln have differences. Washington grew up rich. Lincoln was poor. Before being president, they had different jobs. Washington was a soldier. Lincoln was a lawyer. Washington was the first president. Lincoln was the 16th president. Lincoln was killed and Washington died of sickness. What things did you hear that they had in common? Something I heard was that they both served 2 terms as president. What about things that were different? Things that contrast them? One thing I heard was that Washington was the first president and Lincoln was the 16th president. That's something that they'd have not in common. It's different. When you look at your independent work, you are filling in these 2 boxes. This first one, this pink one, says, how are George Washington and Abraham Lincoln alike? So things they have in common. In the orange box, you are filling out, how are George Washington and Abraham Lincoln different? So how are they not the same? Okay. I can't wait to see the work you do today and what you learned about Abraham Lincoln and George. I hope you all have a great day.